Hey everybody, what's going on? We have another sneak peek of the 2020 Miami Hurricanes at the USC Trojans. I'm very excited about this one. These are two premier programs who have not faced each other since 1968. They're not on the schedule coming up, but this is just a way to look at both teams, one quarter of action, as they get ready for the 2020 season. You see Miami in the all-white, the Stormtrooper uniforms, and you see USC holding it down at home here in Los Angeles. So very curious to see how this one plays out. Two highly regarded quarterbacks going out at Miami's De'Aaron King and USC's Keaton Slovis. Had a really impressive freshman year, and he's going to look to do that again as a sophomore. You see him right here, number 9. Miami defense will have its hands full. I think this is great to see Miami again against a good quarterback, good receivers, some talented running backs as well. Stephen Carr is one. So here we go. And you're getting a first look at USC freshman wide receiver Gary Bryant Jr., number 1 right here. USC takes the field. And again, these simulations, these sneak peeks are just to give you guys a look. Gives you guys a look at two teams that, even though they're not on the schedule typically, it's just a way to look at both teams, see what they look like. And hopefully you guys are getting excited for the 2020 season. Now there's a lot of uncertainty. And that's one of the reasons why I like doing these simulations. Give you guys a look, get you guys excited. Either what it could look like, what it will look like. But here we go. Miami's defense. It's a good catch by their tight end right there. And USC, and what's interesting about both of these programs, very similar situations in the fact that highly regarded, they've done a lot of winning in a lot of tradition in their histories, national championship, NFL players, Heisman Trophy winners, the whole thing. But neither program has been as successful as they would like lately. And I think there's also a lot of similarities with the program. The programs, even again, they've only faced each other twice in history, 1966 and 1968. And they've split the series. But there's a lot of similarities in the fact that, and even though they're on opposite sides of the coast, but in big cities, not the traditional college town. And again, they've had so much success producing talent, wins championships, and the whole thing. I think there's a lot of intrigue, certainly from the Miami side, about what USC is doing, particularly the teams in the mid-2000s, because Miami was doing really well. In the early 2000s, as it was building and slowly fell off, and I think that's one thing that a lot of college football fans, particularly both programs, they would have liked to have seen both these teams play each other. Kind of that 05 USC, that 01 Miami. They just missed each other in terms of having elite teams, elite players. And I think a lot of people would be interested in seeing how that would have played out. It would have been a lot of fun. Star power, I guess, is the biggest way to describe these programs as well. And talented recruiting bases, Southern California and South Florida. So there are a lot of similarities. And again, both programs looking to get back to being perennial top 10 programs, competing for not just conference championships, but in the discussion for being national title contenders. So it'll be interesting to see how these teams do.
The Seahawks send out their punter as the first drive of the game stalls.
There is one particular, crossover right now. Miami has a former USC player on its roster, safety Bubba Bolden.
And that one hits a little too close.
He's from Las Vegas, played his freshman season at USC, appeared in all the games.
So here are the Cowboys under head coach Jason Garrett.
And then last year, 2019, it was his first season at Miami. Played about half the year, got hurt, looking to have a big year in 2020, getting past that injury. And here we go. You're getting a look at the offense of the Hurricanes. And you're going to see a little bit higher tempo. You're going to see that, that air raid, that spread attack. And you see it right here from the jump. They go 4 wide. And the throw over the middle to Mike Harley. And I know if you guys have been paying attention, to our website, InsideTheU.com, you've seen a lot of videos of Mike Harley working out, having a good offseason, a good summer. Even after spring football was shut down, he's getting ready to have a big senior year. And the one thing that stands out to me, and I've talked about it before, but you see multiple ways of working out, different groups, but also just he's concentrating on certain things, whether it's sprinting on a treadmill, catching passes, working on agility. Had one where he was working on drills with a tennis ball against the wall. Here's a nice run by De'Aaron King. Look at him go. Oh my goodness. Huge run by De'Aaron King. Takes a hit and keeps going. I think that's one thing that you'll see with De'Aaron in the sense that not just that he can run, but he can take a hit. Again, he's played receiver. He's been a kick returner. Not just that he runs as a quarterback, but he has played those other positions. He knows how to be a physical player. So to see him slide off a tackle right there, it's not that surprising. Even with his stature, he's not the biggest guy, about 195 pounds, listed at 5'11", but if he's able to not just pick up yards on the ground, but go ahead and slide through tackles, avoid contact, get through contact, that's certainly a big thing. It's cool. And that's an element, I think, with Miami's offense we haven't talked about too much with De'Aaron. And it's not that you're disregarding what he can do in the passing game, because he has a good arm and those kind of things. And you certainly know the stats with his running game. But we talk so much about the new offense and how it's going to help the receivers because the new offensive coordinator, passing the ball with high efficiency. We haven't seen it at a high level with an efficiency level since Brad Kaya left. So that's where all the attention goes, the passing game, how it's going to help with the offensive coordinator addition and things like that. But also De'Aaron's running ability is going to help the offense generate more yards, more opportunities, more first downs, more touchdowns. I think it's going to help that extra element that we haven't seen. Now, Malik Rozier certainly ran the ball at Miami and put up some good numbers because we don't always see Miami quarterbacks. We rarely see Miami quarterbacks rack up rushing yards. And I think that everything's going to change with De'Aaron and that element because he can pick up yards on the ground. I think that's going to help the offense. It's going to feel much different than it was a year ago when that was an element that was missing with Miami's offense. And I think it's so important, particularly in college football. Things break down for all kinds of reasons. And to have a quarterback to be able to pick up yards, improvise, make plays. And I think all those things, all those traits are what De'Aaron brings to the table, in addition to having a good arm, a good mindset, a good outlook, a good understanding of how to run an offense. And you see right here, Miami's on the move here. So right at the 20 in the red zone, you're getting a look at Miami. De'Aaron has really good red zone numbers. I had an article on the site. You guys can check that out. First and 10 from the 20. It's such an important part to be good inside the red zone. Talk so much about offenses with red zone efficiency, third down, conversions. You want to be up towards the top in those. So here we go. Looks like maybe gained a yard. Sticking to the run game. Nice run by Cameron Harris. Number 23 just goes right up the middle. Spread him out, go shotgun, handoff. And I think that's a play that you'll see. Almost had the first down. 3rd and inches here. Ball's on the 10. certainly you're expecting a run, but because you're at the 10, you do have some freedom to throw the ball. Maybe you're going to go for it on 4th down. Spreading them out again. Got a running back there. Harley in motion. Fake to Harley. Right over the middle. Great catch by Brevin Jordan. I think that's going to be something with his game you're going to see more of this season. Brevin has not reached the end zone nearly as much as you would think over his time at Miami, given how many receptions he does have, given how many yards he has, and given his talent. But that happens sometimes, particularly with tight ends, receivers, same way. A lot has to go right to get in the end zone as a receiver, as a guy that catches passes. And I think that's just something you're going to see with Brevin. And I expect them to certainly focus on him inside the red zone, inside the 10, whether it's sliding him out to a receiver position instead of on the line to block. You can move him around, get him across the field, going towards the sideline, things like that. There's ways to move him around, and I expect them to make him a focal point inside the red zone, and I think De'Eric will see that. And I think that's something that you should expect to see with De'Eric, the experience, the productivity. He's going to be a guy that you should expect that he's going to be searching for those above average players like Brevin. Not to say that everyone doesn't, but I do know that there is some sense that quarterbacks will try to just make the right read and just go to whoever's open, whoever they think they're supposed to go to, things like that. But I think really going after, really targeting a guy like Brevin would be more beneficial, and I do expect to see that. So you're going to get, so again, just 1 quarter of action. You can check out all the other simulations. Multiple teams, different teams, mixing it up. Drop in the comments. If there's one simulation you haven't seen yet that you definitely want to see, drop in the comments, let me know. That's a huge help. These are for you guys, so I'm definitely taking your ear for it. Listen to see what you guys have to say. And also, if you could, hit the like button. That would definitely help out a ton as well. It helps spread the word about the channel, about the Miami Hurricanes football team right here, and also USC Trojans. That's a great throw by Slovic.
Yeah, just flat out muscled on that one.
That's tough to see right at the end. But that's just a great catch. You see number 5, Amari Carter. That's Tyler Vaughn's number 21. He's the guy that could have a really big year for USC as well. So this might be the last play. These are just sneak peeks, a quick look. There have been some extended games. This is just a short look at 2 quality programs looking to get back on top here. So with that first down, it looks like they might get one more playoff now. USC's on the move. I'm sure if you're a USC fan out there right now, shout out to you guys for jumping on. But I'm sure you'd like to see a touchdown here right before we get out of the first quarter. Trojans are on the move. This certainly would be a fun game to watch. And that is going to be the last play of the sneak peek. It was great to see the stadium. I always like seeing Miami on the road at these different stadiums. Just want to thank everybody for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Check out InsideTheU.com for all your coverage of the Miami Hurricanes and recruiting, all the teams. And you can follow me on Twitter at InsideTheU.